We've been looking at the shepherds who were out in the fields in the middle of the night, so it's really quite fitting we're in this current location. Surely the weather must have been better for them than this.
They were minding their own business on the night shifts, no difference to any other night. But suddenly out of nowhere they had an encounter with angels. Why them? Was it so that nativity plays would look cute with small children dressed in white with squinty tinsel halos and fluffy toy sheep for many future years? I like to think that heaven was bursting. The good news had to get out. Jesus was about to be born. The whole of heaven was rejoicing. One angel appeared to the shepherds and brought fear and terror to them. This means angels probably aren't cute and wrapped in tinsel.
Suddenly, a whole company of angels appeared, praising and rejoicing in the night sky. This might have adversely affected the shepherds even more, but it didn't. Although they were initially frightened, they listened well to what they were being told, and then they hurried at once to look for Jesus, then spread the good news.
There might be a lesson for us to learn about how we should respond to the promises of Christmas. They believed what they heard and acted. We don't even know if the shepherds were people of faith, but we know that they were transformed by the message and they received and returned praising God. We don't know if they were impressive speakers and managed to convince their listeners to turn to God, but the shepherds received the good news eagerly and continued to spread the word of the newborn baby, the Messiah.
Maybe there's another lesson in there about learning to listen well. All too often we don't listen or give our full attention. In church, are we too quick to disregard or ignore a message if the preacher has an annoying voice or is just very boring? In whatever manner the message is spoken or presented in, is what is being said true? Does it line up with Scripture? You might even now be thinking, what is that grey-haired man and lad with questionable facial hair talking about? Are they even qualified or studied theology? Are we good listeners or do we dismiss the message?
There was another good listener in the shepherd's story, Mary. As the shepherds told everything that had happened that night, we are told she treasured up all the things and pondered them in her heart. There was no sudden action, no knee-jerk reaction, and no wild emotional response, but she listened intently and quietly and tried to unpack and figure out what was being said and what this meant. So this Christmas, may we be a people who respond to Jesus and celebrate once again as we think about the best news ever.
And in this extremely busy season, may we be people who make time to listen.